Hello everyone at Marina San Carlos. This is Greg Price with AL3 Technologies. The purpose of this video is to review how you're going to be managing user access in the new environment that includes the S2 security system. As usual, from a contact record, you're going to jump into the Badges tab. You can see it's a little bit different. We have a Set Up New UCard Access button. We still have the old activate and deactivate all buttons, and the data that shows below in the list of user access is a little bit different, and that has something to do with the way, just the difference between how S2 manages its user and card data versus the way the old system, the Secure Perfect system, used to do it. To show you how it's going to work, I'm just going to jump right into adding a new card access. You're going to go ahead and jump in and add the first name and last name. You're going to put in the encoded number. Now this is going to come as usual from your USB card reader. It can also be added in manually, and since I don't have a card reader, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Put the card number in, add your rental, and then set up your security access points. Now, two things to keep in mind, and I'll show you how this works. If you have an encoded number that you put in there that already exists for somebody else's account, it's going to let you know. Hit continue, and the message comes up here. You can see the encoded number you have entered is currently assigned to another client. Please remove that card before adding to a new client. And I'll show you how you would go about doing that, but we'll go ahead and we'll just change it to a different number for right now. Another thing to keep in mind is all of these fields have to be filled in before you can continue. If they're not, it'll give you another message that lets you know that you have to fill out everything before you continue. Once we hit continue, it's going to jump into this screen, which is going to have your name, relationship access, and your list of cards that are assigned to that person. The name and the access are stored in the S2 system as well as in FileMaker, so any changes that you make to FileMaker in the name or the access or the cards are going to be updated in the S2 system. So for instance, if I go ahead and change the name, it'll update the name in the S2 system as well. The relationship is something just in FileMaker, so you can add whatever works. The access, if you click on it, you'll see it pops up a little window for you to make changes to it. It's just the nature of the relationship between FileMaker and S2. But if I want to go ahead and change it from doc I to doc J, I just go ahead and make that change and then jump out of it. And you can see it's been updated. Once that window disappears, if the information is the same, we can confirm that it has made the change properly. Over here, you have your list of cards. You can add new cards right here. If I want to add a second card to someone, let's say, for instance, this person lost a card. So what I'll do is I'll jump in and put in the encoded number, the card number, choose your rental, and hit continue. And you can see it dropped it right in there. And all we have to do if the other card was lost, you can go ahead and just change the status to disabled by clicking on it. You can also re-enable the same way. But if the card needs to be removed from the customer, let's say, for instance, they turned it in and it's no longer assigned to them, that's where you would just go and hit the minus button. It'll give you a message saying deleting this card will remove it, which cannot be undone. Proceed. Hit OK. Your cards are not stored in the S2 system, and that's not the way the S2 system works. So anytime you move a card from one person to another, you have to remove it from the one person and add it to the next person because it's stored underneath their person record in S2. We're going to go ahead and close this, and I'll show you right here how we would go about deactivating. You can deactivate people on an individual basis. If I was to go ahead and deactivate this card, this person, that means actually all of their cards will not work. You can see that their cards in here are still listed as active, but because the card is attached to the person's record supersedes it in S2. So if you disable it, all of their cards that are assigned to them do not work when they try to access. And you would re-enable simply by clicking. Again, you have the activate and deactivate all in the case where there's maybe a lapse for the customer's account. The system will automatically deactivate, and you'll see it'll jump through all of these and disable them all. And if you come back in and sort everything out for them, you can go ahead and hit activate for them again. Okay. The other option, of course, is you can go ahead and delete. If you go ahead and delete any of these people from this area, it not only deletes the person, it also deletes the cards that are associated with them, because the card is underneath the person's record in S2. That means that those cards will no longer be valid, or they will no longer be working in the system until such time as they are added to another person in the FileMaker system. One other thing that you're going to want to know about is how to find a card. Let's say, for instance, someone found a card on the property and brought it to you. You can go ahead and search simply by searching in the cards. The cards has both the hot stamp and the encoded number in it. So there's always a chance that you might get a false positive result for that. If you want something more accurate, you have separate hot stamp and encoded numbers right here. So if I want to go and do a search for a specific encoded number, just go ahead and enter that 12-digit number, and there we go. That's the one I was looking for. That should cover everything that you're going to be needing to do in FileMaker when it comes to adding and managing the cards. If you have any questions, or if you have any issues that you run into, please feel free to contact me anytime. Have a great day.